Y'all gotta watch this.
Say it again.
Y'all gotta watch this.
Prove that you're here.
Look at this.
Why do you keep turning off the TV?
Look at this entity.
Ooh.
Just keep
Hey,
watching.
hon. Come here. Look.
Joe, I can't build that.
I don't think it's just down here.
Watch. Watch this.
Look at that. This is the most active during the day that I've seen. Oh, there goes the Xbox 2. Wait a minute.
You hear that?
Oh, I'm not liking
Watch
this.
this. Watch this.
Oh, wow. Wait. I swear I can see. Ooh, stop it.
What the fuck?
I'm not liking that. Hon, let's go to dinner or something for a while.
What's going on, y'all?
Time to go.
What's going on?
Let's take a look at this photo. This was pulled from the evidence archives of the Michigan State Homicide Unit. It is the only known photo we have of who was known as the Skinner. So in the early 70s, in a rural part of Michigan, something very strange was going on. It started out as just a very high number of women who were going missing in this county, but it would soon turn very dark. It was like for every one of these women that went missing, there was always an article of clothing found, as well as a severed foot. So after all of these months of investigating and questioning people, they eventually stumble upon this abandoned home in the county, and they would obtain a warrant to search it. Inside were all of the bodies of the women, every single one of them, and they had all been skinned alive. This place was littered with all of these Polaroids that this man had taken of everything he had done to these women, but he only took one photo of himself. This picture, as he's never been caught, and this is all we know of the Skinner.
This creepy and odd story is 100% true. In the heart of New Orleans, the LaLaurie Mansion stands as a grim reminder of a gruesome past. In the 1830s, Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a prominent socialite, concealed a house of horrors behind her elegant facade. Rumors of cruelty and sadistic experiments circulated, but the truth was far worse. A fire in 1834 revealed the mansion's ghastly secrets. It slaved people brutally tortured and mutilated. Madame LaLaurie fled, evading justice. The mansion is now said to be haunted by the tormented spirits of her victims, their cries of agony echoing through the ages, turning this grand residence into an enduring symbol of unspeakable cruelty. You can visit the LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans today in the French Quarter. It's a popular stop on ghost tours and has become a well-known historical and haunted landmark in the city due to its dark history and association with the infamous Madame Delphine LaLaurie.
¿Qué cosa es esa cosa, Dios mío?
Es una persona.
No, no es una
Es
persona.
una persona doblada.
¿Pero qué es? Ay, madre, no. Está moviéndose raro. Diosito, Dios mío, ¿qué es eso? Ay, no.
Está desenfocado, creo.
10 terrifying urban legends that turned out to be true. First, Cropsey, a boogeyman from Staten Island whose story led to a real killer. Next, the Bunny Man, a tale of a man in a bunny costume attacking people in Virginia, based on real events. Raymond Robinson, also known as Charlie No-Face, a disfigured man who became a legend in Pennsylvania. The Candy Lady in Texas, a twisted tale grounded in a series of real crimes. The Legend of the Green Man, an eerie true story of a man in Pennsylvania who glowed. The Hook Man, a famous legend reflecting real attacks in the 1940s. The Poisoned Halloween Candy, a myth that started from real cases of tampering. The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs, a tale that was born from actual true crimes. The Vanishing Hitchhiker, several real reports of encounters with ghostly travelers. Finally, La Llorona, a famous Mexican legend with roots in real historical events. Discover these amazing...
This is the truth behind the Tooth Fairy. Now everyone knows who the Tooth Fairy is. Once you lose a tooth, you put it under your pillow and she comes in the middle of the night to take it and give you money. But what if I told you the Tooth Fairy is much more scarier than that? And that the Tooth Fairy has a much darker backstory. The story goes that a kid lost 2 of their teeth in the same day and proceeded to tell her parents that she lost both of her teeth. Now this was the first time she ever lost any teeth, so her parents told her what to do with them and put them under under her pillow for money. So she proceeded to do that, and a couple hours later she was getting ready for bed. Her parents tucked her in and she was about to fall asleep, but that's when she sees her door creak open. It's super dark in her room so she can't see anything, but she squints her eyes to look at the doorway and sees something standing there. But then her door proceeds to fully open and you won't believe what was at the door. Hit the plus button for a part 2.
Yes, this is terrifying, but this situation could happen to you as well. Emily was just an ordinary girl, living an ordinary life, until her neighbors disappeared mysteriously. From that moment, strange events started. To safeguard herself, given the suspicion that her neighbors had been kidnapped, Emily installed security cameras throughout her house and garden. One day, while she was hanging her laundry, something particular appeared in the crack of her fence, captured on camera. But the worst was yet to come. This entity seemed to be following her. Here she is, practicing for her dance competition. If you look closely, you can see something sinister in the background. Then, the fateful day arrived. The link between her situation and her neighbors' deaths is a chilling speculation. But one thing is certain, the camera footage are terrifying. No one will never know what happened next. On this day, Emily disappeared. Nobody heard from her ever again.
I passed away trying to put a TV in my stomach. Hello, I am Poe, one of the Teletubbies. You know who I am, but you don't know my dark history. Before all the sunshine and happiness, there was darkness and loneliness. We were 4 children stuck in a Bulgarian mental facility they called La La Land, where they experimented on psychotic children. They isolated us into dark rooms. La La, the yellow tubby, was a child with a facial disfigurement, making her smile all the time. Tinky Winky, the purple tubby, was a deaf child that was tied to a fence outside and suffered frostbite. Dipsy was a malnourished child that was constantly sick. And me, Poe, I fell into a fire when I was young. Our only source of comfort in our rooms was our little televisions. But as part of an experiment, they told us they were going to take them away. We didn't want that to happen, so we came up with the idea to put them into our stomachs. They were too big to swallow, so we tried to cut them open and put the television inside. But we didn't make it. Remember where we came from. Remember our suffering.
This is why you should never go to McDonald's at midnight. 1 month ago, 2 young girls were out late at night and looking for something to eat. They came across what looked like a brand new McDonald's, and they were about to open the door when they saw a terrifying person dressed in a McDonald's uniform with a large red wig waving slowly from the other side of the door. The girls later said that he had white eyes and almost didn't look human. They ran home and were so afraid that they called the police. The police checked the area and then went to the girls' home, informing them that the McDonald's they said was open had been burned to the ground 5 years ago, and the building was nothing but ashes.
Something really strange has happened the past 2 nights. I've been sleeping in the basement. So every night I listen to like a sleepy podcast. And the one I've been listening to is them reading Pride and Prejudice. But 2 nights ago I was like, okay, I've been like through this all. I keep hearing it again. I'm going to try Jane Eyre. And so I was sleeping and then I heard, "Are you awake?" And it woke me up and I was like, that was weird. I was like, did my kid come down here? And there was nobody down there. And I was like, it wasn't on the podcast because like even in between episodes, they keep the same, like if there's any type of ads, the ads are for like Spotify podcast and they keep the same kind of monotone voice that they're reading in. And they don't say things like that because the whole point is to keep you asleep. So that was super fucking weird. And then last night I was falling asleep and, you know, when you're kind of like in and out of sleep, like you're like top level kind of sleeping. So you're still kind of aware. So last night I decided, okay, I'll go back to Pride and Prejudice, listening to Pride and Prejudice. And then I was like almost asleep. And then I heard, "Hey." Now listen, I am not like a believer in ghosts. I don't really think I believe in like that sort of thing. But this was pretty strange. Because especially the "Are you awake?" was so distinct. Like so distinct and so clear. There wasn't any type of muffle. It was very much like it was spoken directly into my ear. So, yeah.
If you see this while getting on your car, be very careful. Here's why. A woman named Delaney posted a warning video to anyone who lives in Salem, Oregon, showing why you should be on the lookout for any suspicious vehicles parked near your house. In the video, as her friend is leaving for work, you can see someone pulling up to her driveway. She immediately notices something doesn't seem right and quickly gets back inside. The man then waits patiently for her to come back out, but as he gets tired of waiting, this happens. With his phone's flashlight, the man looks inside, but doesn't seem too interested, so he gets back into his vehicle and continues to wait for her. The garage door opens, and as she comes out, he makes his way to her, but as her father comes to confront him, he drives off.
What the fuck? Yo, you good?